Let me tell you about the strongest man you know. He wakes up and doesn't check his phone because it charges in the kitchen. He doesn't eat junk at midnight because there's none in the house. He saves money every month without deciding to because it moves before he sees it. From the outside, he looks like a monument of willpower. Here's the secret. He barely uses any. You've probably heard the old story. Odysseus, sailing past the sirens, had his crew tie him to the mast because he knew he couldn't trust himself to resist their song. We've talked about that story on this channel before, but today I want to talk about what it actually teaches, because most men take the wrong lesson from it. The lesson was never about being strong in the moment. The lesson is that the wisest man in Greek legend assumed he would be weak and planned for it. Now hold that against how most men operate. They keep the junk food in the pantry and plan to resist it. They keep the phone on the nightstand and plan to ignore it. They leave the money in checking and plan not to spend it. Every plan depends on winning a fight at the exact moment they're weakest. Tired, stressed, tempted, alone. Then they lose the fight and call themselves undisciplined. Here's the truth the research keeps confirming. The people who look the most self-controlled aren't winning more battles than you. They're fighting fewer of them. Study after study finds that folks who score high on self-control mostly arrange their lives so temptation never gets close enough to need resisting. The strong man doesn't stand in the bakery smelling the bread and refusing it. He takes the street that doesn't pass the bakery. There's a famous story about Victor Hugo, and the way it's told, he was badly behind on a book deadline. So he had his servant lock away his clothes, leaving him nothing to wear out of the house. Unable to go anywhere, he sat in his study and wrote. Whether every detail is true, the method is dead serious. He didn't negotiate with his future self. He disarmed him. Economists have a name for this: commitment devices. Arrangements you make now that bind the man you'll be later. And the results are hard to argue with. When companies moved retirement savings from something you opt into to something automatic that you'd have to opt out of, participation exploded. Same men, same paychecks, same temptations. The only thing that changed was that doing the right thing no longer required a decision every month. Sit with that sentence, because it's the whole video. Doing the right thing should not require a decision every time. Every decision is a fight, and every fight can be lost. The man who has to redecide his discipline every single day will eventually have a bad day. The man who built the decision into his environment gets the same result on his worst day as his best. So let's get practical. Where does your discipline keep failing? Stop treating it as a character flaw to be ashamed of. Treat it as an engineering problem, because engineering problems have engineering solutions. You reach for your phone at night. Don't fight it. Charge it in another room and buy a $10 alarm clock. You snack at midnight. Don't fight it. The junk doesn't come into the house, and the fight moves to the grocery store once a week, when you're rested and fed. You spend what you meant to save. Don't fight it. Automate the transfer for payday morning, so spending it would take effort instead of saving it taking effort. You skip the gym. Pay for the class in advance. Book it with a friend. Put your shoes by the door. Make quitting cost something. Notice the pattern. In every case, you're moving the decision from your weakest moment to your strongest one. You at 9 in the morning, calm and clear, making the call for you at 11 at night, tired and tempted. And that is what command looks like. Generals don't wait until the battle starts to choose the ground. They choose it in advance, precisely because battle is chaos. And here's what happens after a few months of this. The fights you used to lose stop happening, so the willpower you do have goes further. You start trusting yourself because you keep doing what you said you'd do. Other men will look at your consistency and call it iron discipline. Let them. You'll know the truth, and the truth is better than the compliment. You stopped relying on iron and started building systems. So tonight, pick your worst recurring failure, just one. And instead of promising to try harder, change the environment so the failure takes effort. Tie yourself to the mast while your hands are still steady. The sirens are coming either way. The wise man plans for the song.